All right. Woo! Shit. Things are happening. Items. Let's. Okay. So apparently pressing the hotkey makes shit goes weird. So I can't even scroll through this shit. All right. Items. Go the fuck away. We're gonna eventually work our way back down to where we last off. Okay, Righteous Glory. Sorry, got pretty loud there at the very end there, so let's try this again. Righteous Glory feels much better itemization if you're trying to initiate for a team fight and just full on engage. And since the new Catalyst passive now, where it gives you 50% of all damage dealt to you is now given to you as mana, and when you spend mana, it heals you up. I can see this being a very good item for Olaf, Maokai, um, hell, Galio if you want. I mean, people that just want to get into the middle of a team fight and start doing their shit. The fact that the active slow is longer lasting, it's easier for you to stick to targets, and it gives you even longer duration to be sped up to get onto people. So, Dead Man's Plate versus Righteous Glory. Dead Man's Plate is better if you're trying to just chase people down in long engages. Righteous Glory if you're trying to instantly start a fight. Warmogs, the price of it has not been changed at all. You have 50 less health. However, you do have CDR now because it builds out of a Kindle Gem. So overall, I say this is a buff. CDR is always very good. So combination of Warmogs now with uh, Spear Visage, really good. Gives you 20% CDR from those two items, plus a lot of innate regens. And Spirit Visage now has even more regeneration procs to it. So I see those two working very well hand in hand for very cheap CDR itemization for champions. Let me see. Another Warmogs armor gets some. No, no, no. I don't think. I actually can think we might see some more Warmogs and Visage on specific champions, not on every champion. It's not going to be like the Meta Golem build where you get Sunfire and Iceborne Gauntlets, and boom, you're a tank that has amazing base damage. But I see for some specific champions, it could work really well. Relic Shield line. Charge cooldown now is a lot lower for Relic Shield, but it gives you less health per charge. And same with Targon's Brace, but it's a lot faster to build it up. And yes, I already did talk about the Rage Blade in your face. You have to watch that. I am recording this, so it would be in video 2 of the patch notes. Spell Thief's Edge line, less mana regeneration from Frostfang and Frost Queen's Claim. So less mana regeneration, plus this might take away mid laners from using Frost Queen's Claim as their mana regeneration item and replace Merlinomicon, because beforehand people were doing it because it had the bonus damage when you had landed base attacks or abilities on targets, and it had the Spooky Ghost proc. But now it's going to have less regeneration, so it might just switch back to being a pure support item. Arcane Sweeper, that's in a different game. Grievous Wounds reduces self-healing by 40%, now reduces all healing received by 40%. This was massively needed because this is why certain champions like Soraka, for example, went unchecked for a considerable amount of time. Despite a lot of the nerfs they did to Soraka, Grievous Wounds only affected self-healing. So if other targets healed you, it was still full value. But now Grievous Wounds will now affect all healing received. So, much appreciated, so other healers don't affect you as much. Skin clarity, blah blah blah, bug fixes, yada yada. No one cares. So this is actually going to be a relatively short video. This was just a closer. Blah 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 blah. Let me see. Could you elaborate on what champs you can see using the new Warmogs and Visage being strong on? Obviously Vlad, but would tanks like Sion and Maokai go with these items or more resists? I would say Sion and Maokai maybe could work with the Warmog Spirit Visage combination because of their innate durability, especially Maokai with his ultimate, reducing damage period around him. Just having a lot of base health would be very beneficial for him. Other champions I could see really utilizing Spear Visage and Warmogs. I can see. I doubt this will make him relevant, but Garen, he's a resourceless champion, so just give him more CDR. Mundo, even. He can get his ultimate out a lot faster, and he has a lot more extra regeneration, so that combination can work with him as well. I mean, he's the original stack a lot of health and regen champion, was fucking Dr. Mundo. Garen can make use of it. Singed, maybe? Maybe? Like, maybe you can go Singed, or you can go, like, the classic Rylai's build, and then go, since Righteous Glory uses mana, and his passive gives you extra health from mana, you can go Righteous Glory, Rylai's, Warmogs, and Spirit Visage, and just be this, like, 4 or 5k health Singed with all this innate regeneration just plowing through the enemy team. That is another possibility as well. But basically, Warmogs and Spirit Visage are going to be more for pure tanks that want to itemize more for health than actual resistances. Let me see. New Rage Blade plus Hurricane is still strong from what I can figure out. Both have 15 damage on hit. One has physical, one has magic. Yeah, that combination can still work, but the main thing is that they took away the AoE effect for Rage Blade, and they've nerfed its effect for melees. So, while it's not really going to be touching up a whole lot of changes for like Kog'Maw and Tristana utilizing the combination, a lot of your champions that use Rage Blade that were melee, like your Aurelia, your Master Yi, your Xin Zhao, got hurt by it because it also limits their wave pushing abilities as well. Anyways, unless there are any more questions, I'm going to wait for like 30 or so seconds to see if anyone else has questions about the patch. I'm just going to call this video as an end, and that will actually be the end of the stream for the night as well. Been going for about 3 hours. 3 hours of patch notes, quite of a big deal. Anyways, any other questions? That's not a real question. Alright, since it doesn't look like we have any more chests. Well, let's see, there's a standard Kog'Maw build, not changed then. Well, it just depends what you mean by standard. I mean, for the longest time, the standard Kog'Maw build was Blade of the Rune King and like attack speed oriented items. But then they realized, oh wait, Trinity Force works really well because of his ultimates. You can constantly get Trinity Force procs. And now they're working on whole Rage Blade, Hurricane, just pure attack speed ever since they changed how Kog'Maw works. I think his itemization doesn't really change that much for Kog'Maw, to be honest. Thoughts on CDR optimization on mages? Alright. Mage itemization. Let me see. See, Fiendish Codex got a little bit of a buff. Now we have the Lost Chapter as well. Morellonomicon basically is probably your go-to regen and mana regeneration, CDR and mana regeneration item for mages. But beyond that, there are other options now, like Abyssal Scepter gives you CDR, plus it gives you magic resistance. And the R shred scales up in levels. So if you're up against a team that has 1 or 2 additional 2 sources of magic damage, Abyssal Scepter now can factor in for your CDR, which now means that, hey, with Abyssal Scepter and Morellonomicon, you can go Boots Ionia to give you the 40% CDR, plus the Abyssal Scepter will basically apply your magic resistance penetration that your Boots of Sorcery would have done on their own eventually anyways. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Why are your eyes as blue as the sky? I don't know. They just came with me that way. Let's see. Abyssal Scepter plus Hourglass on list over Morello. This is true because Zanya's now also gives you CDR. By going Abyssal Scepter and Zanya's, that would actually be a decent combination for Lissandra. It would give you a 20% CDR reduction that normally you would like to have. Plus, it would still give you the defensive properties on both ends, MR and armor. And it would give you the MR shred from the aura of this Abyssal Scepter. So for Lissandra, I can see that being pretty well, since all of her abilities have the same range as the Abyssal Scepter's range is anyways. I can see that as a possibility over Morello. The only problem, though, is that if you go that route, you then will lack any form of mana regeneration. So then, at that point, then I would say you probably want to go for the Rod of Ages to be the final item. So basically, Lissandra would be more of a faux tank not real tank, but like beefier enough so she can go in, have enough regeneration, everything, and stats from the Rod of Ages, have the Abyssal and Zanya's for some CDR and extra durability. Which Hextech item gave CDR again? We will take a quick look. I think it was the Proto Belt. It was the one that makes your character dash forward because it builds out a Kindle Gem. Which I actually think this could be a decent item for Vladimir because it gives you both health, gives you ability power, and it gives you some extra like engage mobility tools or escape tools depending. Final question about Revolver. Is it worth grabbing if you want to be an early bully on hybrid top laner such as Jax Aurelia? Yeah, the extra proc damage is pretty good, so if you're playing champions like that nature, I mean, Gunblade was already a good hybrid item for, I mean, granted, most Jax players would go for Blade of the Rune King for the attack speed over the Gunblade, but I would say, just due to the fact you have all that extra burst now, I think Revolver would be very beneficial for more Jax than Aurelia, because you can still build Gunblade. Gunblade and Aurelia just feels clunky. And Protobelt, I don't know if that would be worth for her. She already has her own engaged tools. Don't really see her using the GLP 800 at all. So I would definitely say Gunblade. Itemization for Jax might be on the rise, because you'll have a lot more trading potential. Except Revolver, you basically just go in with an empowered auto attack and chunk them pretty hard. Let's see. But yeah, I see Revolver for Jax, not so much for someone like Aurelia. Woohoo! Yeah, but that's my thought. I see Revolver being a decent item for Jax for his trades because it still empowers your auto attack trades. Aurelia, itemization doesn't really work for her. Nothing really works for her that well, except for maybe Gunblade, but Gunblade on her always felt off. Like, she was a hybrid-esque champion, but not to the point that you would actually get that item. Like, she was a hybrid as in you would get Rage Blade and Trinity Force. Going Gunblade, though, that was just, no, not really fitting for her. On that note now, unless I see any more good questions, I think I'm going to call it a night. Let's see, still doing the analysis, finishing up, finally. See, if to engage tanks for grabbing new catalyst for sustain, it's better grab the Hex Tech or Righteous. Let's use Maokai as an example person buying it. So I'm assuming you're talking about the Proto Belt as the engage tool because it makes you dash forward and do some AoE damage. I'll answer real fast. In your face would be dumb Sterix and Maw. Yes, it would be dumb because their lifeline shields now no longer stack. You activate one, the other one gets on cooldown. So no, don't do it anymore. Which means that Kindred and Graves Jungle are greatly hurt because that was their popular itemization. Again, I guess it really depends. If you want to just get in there really like instantaneous little dash and then go in, Protobelt, if you're looking for a quick little jump. But if you're looking to like Zerg into the enemy team and stick on them and then apply the AoE slow, Sterix Gauge by far, I mean not Sterix Gauge, Righteous Glory by far. Oh, I'm sorry. The GLP 800. Oh, no. The GLP 800, I don't really see it being more of a pick potential. I mean, sure, it does fire the AoE slow, like AoE blast that slows things, but I see that being more utilized as a disengaged tool. I think of it as old Frost Queens. Like old Frost Queens, you fire that little bolt that just slow things. I see it more as a disengaged tool than an actual engage. While you would slow things, for the most part, if you're a tanky person like Maokai, odds are you're going to be slowing their front line than their actual back line, because that's all it's going to hit. It's like an Ash Volley. It only hits the things it first strikes and then explodes. So you're only going to be slowing their front line, so the back line is still going to be backing up the same rate. Whereas Righteous Glory would just get you back there nice and fast. I know old Frost Queens got used as engage as well, but it shouldn't have been. That's the problem. It shouldn't have been. It's a disengage tool. And I feel like this one is as well. I feel it's more of a disengage than anything else. Just slow, back up, reposition, to get ready to re-engage. Alright, we're going to end the stream. I will still be answering questions. I just won't, actually not ending the stream, I'll be ending the recording. So, for those of you watching these 3 videos, thank you. Have a good time. Catch me on my stream.